Okay. So hello, my name is Sarah from Casa Education Agency. We are a study abroad agency based in Morocco. So today we would like to give our student more information about medical programs. So can you introduce yourself and tell us more about the university you work for?
Certainly, yes. So my name's Andrew. I work for St. George's Medical School of Medicine. We are a fantastic medical school, obviously. We have a pathway to careers in the US, the UK, based in Grenada in the West Indies, and we partner with Northumbria in the UK as well. So we offer a huge amount of options to our students to have a career pathway directly into medicine through our MD program.
Okay, so do you accept Moroccan students?
Yes, we do. Yeah, of course. So our students, depending on the qualifications they've attained, like the baccalaureate, for example, with the baccalaureate, they'll be looking at our 6-year MD program, which will mean that in 6 years, they will be a residency doctor in the US, the UK, Canada, and up to, I think, over 50 different countries in the world at the moment. We have our alumni, so there's
Can they come
huge
back
amounts
to
of
Morocco
options.
and practice?
Yes, they can. Yeah, because it's we follow predominantly the US system, which creates the MD, means they're allowed to practice back in Morocco.
Okay, and so after getting their baccalaureate, where do they have to study first?
Well, the option is theirs, and that's the great thing about the program is that they can choose to study in Grenada and do the 4 years in Grenada, followed by the clinical rotations, which can be done in the US, UK, I say in that last year in Canada, or start in the UK, do 3 years in the UK, then that 4th year they have to come to Grenada because that's where they'll take their US MLE, so their medical license exam, which allows for the clinical rotations. So yeah, they'll come here, do that year, which one things I think if one of the students want to start doing the research, they look at the island and the beautiful campus in Grenada, that it's not such an arduous thing to do. It is genuinely stunning. And then the pathway is the same. So students can start in either location, however, and then they can choose which rotations they want to do after that.
So after that 4th year, they can come back to the UK or stay in Grenada, right?
Into the UK or into the US. So our clinical rotations are placed in the USA, UK, and then in that 6th year, Canada as well. Because we've got a huge hospital network. We work with over 70 hospitals in the US, 25 in the UK, and 5 in Canada. So what we like to ensure is that students are prepared for their specialty at the point that that they've completed their rotations and they're going into residency.
Okay. How many intakes do you have?
We have 3 in the year. Well, it's funny. So we have a sort of in Grenada, August and then January, and also April. So in April, students who are not coming from high school but have already got a scientific degree, biology, chemistry, biomedical sciences, can do directly into our 4-year program. In the UK, it is September and January.
Okay, where is it in the UK? Which city?
Yeah, we partner with Northumbria in Newcastle. So I know a lot of students know quite a bit about Newcastle. Great city. I actually used to live there myself. So if anyone needs any hints about cafes or anything like that, just let me know.
So Newcastle is basically almost 3 hours by train from London. And there is also a flight that connects Casablanca to Newcastle, but students need to do a flight connection in Paris.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah,
yes.
So the options there. I mean, it is potentially, I mean, there is a direct connection to Luton as well, I think. But even if you go to Heathrow, the train is quite easy to get. You've got I think it's from Victoria up to Newcastle, if I remember correctly, but don't quote me on that one. Mm-hmm. My train knowledge has changed a little bit.
Okay, so since the program is in English, I guess that the university requires an IELTS score.
That's correct. We asked for an IELTS score of IELTS level 7, and no scores below that in the UK because of visa requirements. However, we do have a English for medical practitioners program in Grenada. So we can't accept anything below 6.5 in writing. If then the students require the EMP, they'll do a semester of medical English alongside that as well. But we also, as part of the program, will offer individual sessions. So medical English can be slightly different to traditionally taught English, and there's a lot of Latin. We do individual sessions for our students to help make sure that they're here, communicating all those lessons that are available to them.
Okay, so what are the entry requirements for Moroccan baccalaureate students?
It'll be 12 out of 20 for the 6-year program, and then the English language assessment on top of that.
And what about the French bac students?
Same again, 12 out of 20.
So just 12 out of 20 and 7.0 as an overall on the IELTS, with no less than 7.0 in one of the 4 elements.
Yeah, that's for the UK. So we do have the EMP, as I mentioned, in Grenada.
Okay, and will you accept any student who has done a foundation program in the UK and would like to go to year 1 of the program in Grenada?
Yes, certainly. So the foundation program in the UK, Medical Foundation or Science Foundation, can be matched to our 5-year program. So they could do the baccalaureate, foundation, and then it'd be into the 5 years program. So the timeline is fairly similar, depending on what students plan to do. But foundation programs are great. They do allow for that transition into UK higher education as well. So, the options are always there and available to our students.
Okay, and is there any way that the student can access the university directly without doing any foundation?
Yeah, certainly. Like I say, if they get, direct access is through the baccalaureate. If they taken a bachelor degree as well, as we mentioned, for the MD4 program, or any international qualifications as well. So if students that take A-levels, IB, particularly here in Dubai, you get a number of students taking the CBSE, the Indian system, then they can also, with the correct grades, come onto directly onto our 5-year program as well. Okay.
Do you recommend students especially coming from Morocco, to start the program in Grenada in West India or in the UK?
That's a tough one. So the great thing about both campuses is the program is exactly the same. A lot of the time, the decision can be proximity to home. So students would choose the UK because it is, Morocco particularly is really accessible from the UK. And often parents are key decision makers in that process as well. Those that are more adventurous, that like the idea of being in the West Indies and coming across, then great. Everyone's more than welcome on either campus.
Okay, thank you. So what about the tuition fees? Are they the same in both campuses, or each campus has its own tuition fees?
Correct. So there's a slight difference for the 6-year program, that the first year in the UK is £15,000 for the year, whereas in Grenada it's $35,000. But the preclinical years, from the first year for the 5-year is $35,000 without any scholarship. And then the average cost of the MD program is roughly about $75,000. And then we also offer scholarships to our students from North Africa as well. So we have scholarships that range between $60,000 and $120,000.
So how can students apply for scholarship? Is it something that they can get automatically, or they need to apply for it?
There's some things we ask for. So more often than not, at the point that students join us, the parents are the person who's supporting them with the fees. So we ask for a confidential financial statement where parents or the fee payer, depending on who it is, will complete to say these are savings and money available. And then the student will also complete just a paragraph, say, indicating their eligibility for the scholarship, and we take those things into account. So it's not just based on grades. Grades help. Obviously, the higher grades, it's, you know, the scholarship is easier to discuss. But we also look at student need as well, because we don't want just the investment to become a doctor to be the limiting factor to their career and education.
Okay. When is the deadline to apply for September 2021 intake?
We officially don't have any deadlines because it's our own application. It's direct flow, so I don't officially have any deadlines. However, I would always think, particularly with medicine, people know early. Currently, we've actually taking applications for next September, and there are a number of steps to go through. So once we've got the application, it's bringing in the predicted grades, letter of recommendation, and there is an interview with us as well. Not too formal, not to be too scared for the students. It is more like a conversational interview. So realistically, if you're looking at the UK, you want to give yourself at least 3 months before looking to enter the UK, because you've got the visa requirements, etc. But those that plan the longer tend to be more happy and comfortable when they arrive.
Yeah. What about the if the student decide to study at Grenada in West India, do they need to apply for a visa, or is it visa on arrival?
It's visa on arrival, so there's no requirement to apply. So that does open things up quite a lot, and that's the same for parents that may want to visit their students whilst they're in Grenada. I would advise it. If you've seen the pictures of Grenada, I would advise visiting if you can. Yeah. But yeah, so it's visa on arrival, and the campus is, you know, you can actually see it from the airport, so it's very accessible.
Okay, and so students can study either in the UK or Grenada after getting their baccalaureate. Good. So do you offer any other programs in Grenada apart from medicine?
Yeah, we do have our veterinary medicine program as well for those who wish to become a vet. We have.
How many years of studies?
It's same. It was yeah, same entry criteria, same. The difference is with medicine, your patients can talk back a bit easier. We also offer PhD, Master of Public Health, and we have other programs as well. But predominantly, we're finding that medicine is the big interest program, particularly during this pandemic that we find ourselves in. That medicine has very much come to the front of everyone's thinking.
Yeah. Will you be accepting students who have already studied 1 or 2 years in Morocco, studied medicine in Morocco, and then would like to transfer to year 3 or year 4?
Yeah, what we do is we'd map what they've done, the grades that they have, and then make the offer based on that. I mean, more often than not, I'd say it's more likely to be the 5-year program, because the 4-year requires the degree anyway. So.
How much approximately do students need to spend monthly if they study in the UK or if they study in Grenada?
Roughly in the UK, I'd say about £700 per month. Cities in the north of England tend to be less expensive, the cost of living, and that would include accommodation, living expenses, food, entertainment. In Grenada, it's a little more expensive. It's about $1,000 per month, because there's certain things that are required in Grenada. One of the strangest thing I saw was ambulance insurance is required in Grenada. So that's a new one for me. Because it's an island, people may need to have an ambulance to return to the mainland, an air ambulance. So that was one when I first started the job. I was like, oh, I've not seen that before.
Okay, that's strange. Okay, we are learning things.
Is it?
And the student can student work? Can student have a part-time job if they are in the UK or if they are in Grenada?
In the UK, it is possible. However, you should always be mindful with medicine that it is a heavy study load. As much as we're here to support you and get you through your program, medicine is, it's a big subject. In Grenada, it's not possible at all. We have an agreement on the island because it's a smaller island that, there's a huge number of students on campus, and to ensure that balance with local people maintaining their local work, you aren't able to work whilst in Grenada.
Okay, so you've answered all my questions. Thank you so much. Is there anything you would like to tell students from Morocco?
Well, if those students that are thinking of, particularly the US, if you want to come and be a doctor in the US, we are the #1 provider of doctors into the US, bar none. Over the last 11 years, we've provided thousands of doctors. This year alone, we put 1,135 doctors into the medical residency system. And UK, those numbers are starting to build. You know, we're a huge provider of doctors, and we'll do everything we can to support you to make sure that you get to your goal.
So you support students find a job?
Oh, definitely, yeah. So we have our career and guidance team who will work with a student from day one, moment enrollment. So that will mean, so let's say in your career you want to be an oncologist. You've got that, you're ready, you're thinking, right, that's what I want to do. You'll meet the team. How do I become an oncologist? You need these grades, these modules, etc. Then we'll find you your clinical rotations. Then in that period, we'll also help you find your residency as well after those 2 years. We want to make sure that it is a career pathway that students are undertaking, not just a degree program.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you so much again, Andrew, and we hope to send you a lot of students from Morocco to both UK and Grenada campuses.
And enjoy the food, particularly over there in Casablanca. So you know, I'm always keen to visit.
Yes, and you're always welcome to come to Morocco.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you. Take care. Goodbye.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.